This morning I was reflecting on how much God just loves to speak to us and how He doesn't usually make a big song and dance about it, but more often than not, He is that still, small voice. But the reality is He's always speaking, and the question is, are we always listening? And I just pictured as we were tuning in to hear Him and just to tune our ear to Him, it made me think of, I don't know if you ever did this as a kid, but you'd get two tin cans and put a string between them and pull the string tight, and one person would speak into one tin can at one end and the other person would put the other can up to their ear, and you could hear the person's voice coming down the string. And I just saw that this morning, and I saw three different scenarios. I saw someone with the tin can up to their ear, but the string was like woven through a bunch of trees or obstacles that were blocking the signal from getting through, and those things in that person's life were like sin or guilt or shame or condemnation, things that they felt were between them and God, a barrier that was preventing the Lord's voice from getting through. And I just wanted to encourage you today. The Lord wants you to know that those things don't have to be there, that He paid a way to pave a way between you and Him. Get out the chainsaw of grace and cut those things down and have them removed so that that string can be a line of sight and a clear signal can get through. Another scenario I saw was a person with the tin up to their ear, and they were trying to hear the voice of the Lord, but there were all these other voices coming at them, all this other noise, and it was really hard for them to tune in and listen. And it's so true that in our lives we can get so distracted with other voices and other noise, and whether it's just even watching the news, especially at a time like this, if you do that every day, you're probably going to be overwhelmed with that noise, with that voice coming at you, and it can create fear, it can create anxiety, and it's hard to hear the voice of peace and the voice of love, the voice of the Lord. And so I just felt the Lord wanted to encourage you to tune out those other voices, that other noise, and just take some time to get alone. And the Bible says, be still and know that He is God. And I think as you do that, you're about to tune into what the Lord's saying. And then I saw a third scenario, and the person was trying to hear the Lord, and it was like the string was just a really long run of string. But the person really wanted to hear the Lord, and so they took a step closer. And as they did, the Lord took 2 steps closer to them, and as they took another step, the Lord would take 3 steps. And the reality is that's something that God desires for all of us, is to draw near to Him. And as He promises in the book of James, as we draw near to Him, He will draw near to us. That's a promise that He has made. And eventually I saw this person get so close to the Lord that there was actually no tin cans and string left. It was just the Lord whispering directly in their ear. And I just saw the person smiling. It made me think of, I don't know if someone's whispered in your ear and it's tickled and made you laugh. I just saw this person laughing with joy, and it made me think of how when the Lord speaks to us and we hear His voice so clearly, it just fills your life with joy. It's just such a wonderful thing when you hear the voice of the Lord. And so I just want to encourage you today to not have anything blocking God's voice in your life, any obstacle in the way. To not have voices coming at you, just to remove and silence all those other voices so that you can hear Him and draw close to the Lord, because He wants to draw close to you, because He is speaking and He has good things to tell you. So tune your ear to Him.